Good morning, children. I hope you all are doing very well along with your families. Today, children, we are going to do the exercise of chapter 8. That is the first chapter of your history. That is studying the past. Geography, after completing one more chapter, then we will do the exercise of both the chapters. Today, very specifically, chapter 8, studying the past. And this is the first question, that is tick the correct option. So I will read the question and I will say the answer also, and I have already asked you all to do it earlier. So what you are going to do is that you will check along with me whether it is correct or not, and if you have done any mistakes, then no need to worry, you just rectify it and write the correct answer. So all the questions answers, whether tick the correct option, fill in the blanks, and answer the following question in brief, and then answer the following question in detail. All these 4 sections I am going to say the question also and their answer also, and I would like all of you to make a fair copy and write the question answers in your copy as well. As you are not having book right now with you all, so this tick the correct option, fill in the blanks, and question answers, everything you are going to jot down in your copy. So I have given you the slides of the questions so that you have the question, and I am going to dictate the answers as well, so that you can repeat the slide as many times as you want, and after that you can write the answers properly without any spelling mistakes, because all the answers are from your chapter itself, and the chapter I have given you in the slides earlier only. So there shouldn't be any spelling mistakes, children. You are having plenty of time. Have patience. See the videos, check the slides again and again, and please do it correctly. Okay, so now I am going to start with take the correct option. I will say it in a slow pace so that every one of you can listen and you can write down the answers. Okay, be ready with your rough copies now, because you are going to jot down the answers now. So first you do that in your rough copy and then make it in the fair copy. Section A, take the correct option. Question 1. Kautulya wrote the book. Now 4 options are there: Meghdoot, Arthashastra, Ramayana, Harshacharit. Kautulya wrote the book Arthashastra. That is option B. All of you please write the answer. Kautulya wrote the book Arthashastra. Come to the second. The period when art of writing was unknown is called. This also we have discussed in the chapter. The period when art of writing was unknown is called prehistory. 4 options are there: prehistory, ancient history, medieval history, modern history, and the answer is prehistory. Prehistory was the time or the period when art of writing was unknown. Now come to the third one. The study of coins is known as. Again 4 options are there: architecture, numismatics, calligraphy, epigraphy. And the answer is the study of coin is known as numismatics. That is option B, numismatics. Next question. Who is the author of Abhigyanam Shakuntalam? Who is the author of Abhigyanam Shakuntalam? And your options are Kautulya, Tulsidas, Mahatma Buddha, Kalidas. The correct answer is Kalidas. That is option D. Who is the author of Abhigyanam Shakuntalam? And the answer is Kalidas. Next, the Chinese traveler who visited India was. Among the 4 options which is given to you, Alexander, Columbus, Megasthenes, and Fahim, the answer is Fahim. The Chinese traveler who visited India was Fahim. I hope all the answers are clear and you are going to write the question and the answer in your copy. Tick the correct option also. No need to write all the 4 options, just the question, like Kautulya wrote the book, and after that you write the answer Arthashastra. Okay? Now come to the next slide, that is fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. First, dash are the remains of palaces and forts? And the answer is monuments. Monuments are the remains of palaces and forts. Next, Jain literature was written in dash language. Jain literature was written in Prakrit language. That is in the slides also, the chapter which I have given you in the PowerPoint presentation form. In those slides you will get the answer. Jain literature was written in Prakrit language. Next, the study of inscription is called dash. And the answer is the study of inscription is called epigraphy. The study of inscription is called epigraphy. Next, question 4 of fill in the blanks. Historians divide history into two parts, namely dash and dash. And the answer is historians divide history into two parts, namely prehistory and history. Next, dash literature consists of prose, plays, poetry, etc. The answer is non-religious literature consists of prose, plays, poetry, etc. I will repeat, non-religious literature consists of prose, plays, poetry, etc. Now come to section C, that is question answers. First is answer the following questions in brief. And the first question is, how does the study of the monuments help the historians? See, I am going to dictate the answer, children. So first you will write down the answers in your rough copies. After that you will check the spellings. After that you will write it in your fair copy. You are having plenty of time for that. Don't make mistakes. You can hear the slides again and again. It will be with you only. So, section C, question number 1. How does the study of the monuments help the historians? And the answer is to collect information about the social and economic life, the religious beliefs, dress, art forms and architecture of that time. I'll repeat the answer. To collect information about the social and economic life, the religious beliefs, dress, art forms and architecture of that time. Now come to question number 2 of section C. The study of history helps us to make the present world a better place to live in. How? Write down the answer. It helps us to learn about the great people, culture, art and architecture of the earlier time. Full stop. History motivates us to make the present world a better place to live in. I'll repeat the answer. It helps us to learn about the great people, culture, art and architecture of the earlier times. Full stop. Next point, history motivates us to make the present world a better place to live in. Now come to question number 3. How do skeletal studies help us to identify gender differences? Write down the answer. The skeleton of a woman generally has broader hip or pelvic area for childbearing. I'll repeat the answer. The skeleton of a woman generally has broader hip or pelvic area for childbearing. Now the next question. What are the literary sources of Indian history? What are the literary sources of Indian history? Vedas, Pitikas, Angas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Arthashastra, etc. How will write the answer? Answer is Vedas, comma, Pitikas, comma, Angas, comma, Ramayana, comma, Mahabharata, comma, Arthashastra, etc. So children, all the answers are there in your slides because I have prepared the slide from the book itself. Each and every line of your chapter is there in the slide. You will get all the answers from those slides. So if you have any doubt related to your spellings or answers, you can go through the slides. It will help you to learn the answer properly. Now come to question number 5. That is, explain historical literature with an example. Explain historical literature with an example. Please write down the answer. Historical literature consists of autobiographies of the ancient rulers and biographical sketches like Harsha Charitra. This is, I think, the last paragraph of your chapter. When you will go through the slide of chapter 8, studying the past, you will get this answer in the last paragraph of the chapter. I'll repeat the answer again. Historical literature consists of autobiographies of the ancient rulers and biographical sketches like Harsha Charitra. So I hope section C is okay. Now we'll come to section D. Answer the following questions. The first one is, distinguish between archaeological and literary sources. I have already taught you how to write the difference between. You have to write it in the table form. That is, you will make a line in between and two headings. That is, one side you will write archaeological source, and on the right hand side you will write literary sources and then points of those, okay, in the table form. Don't forget to write the answer in the table form. So first make a column. On your left hand side you please write archaeological sources and underline it. Now in archaeological sources, first point, materials of the past buried deep under the earth. Materials of the past buried deep under the earth. This is first point for archaeological source. Second point, inscription, coins, pots, buildings, etc. Inscription, coins, pots, buildings, etc. Now third point for our archaeological source. Third point is monuments which are remains of temples, stupas, palaces and forts. Monuments which are remains of temples, stupas, palaces and forts. Now come to your right hand side. You give the heading literary source and underline it, and then write the first point for literary source. The first point is, all written records of past are literary source. I'll repeat the first point. All written records of past are literary source. Come to the next point for literary source. Two types of literary sources are there. The second point is, two types of literary sources are there. Now the third point for literary source, write the point, religious like Vedas and non-religious like Arthashastra. I'll repeat it, religious like Vedas and non-religious like Arthashastra. Now come to the second question. How do the archaeological source materials help us to learn about our past? Write the answer. The study of these remains tell the archaeologist about the religious, put a comma, social and cultural conditions of that time. The study of these remains tell the archaeologist about the religious, social and cultural conditions of that time. Now come to the third question. What is more important in history? Events, persons, places or dates? Give reasons to justify your answer. Please write the answer. Events, person, places and dates, they are all very much important. Full stop. They are important part of history, comma, history is incomplete without any of these. I'll repeat the answer. Events, person, places and dates, they all are very much important. They are important part of history. History is incomplete without any of these. I hope it is clear. Now come to the fourth question, that is, how do secular literary sources throw light on the lives of the people in any period of history? Write down the answer. These secular literature throws light on the life of the people of that period. Full stop. Next point. They account of events by foreign pilgrims and travelers like Fahim and ambassadors like Megasthenes who visited India in earlier times are important sources of information about ancient Indian history and culture. I'll repeat the answer. These secular literature throws light on the life of the people of that period. The account of events by foreign pilgrims and travelers like Fahim and Megasthenes, ambassadors like Megasthenes who visited India in earlier times, are important sources of information about ancient Indian history and culture. I hope it is clear. If you want, I'll repeat it again. This secular literature throws light on the life of the people of that period. Full stop. Next point. The account of the event by foreign pilgrims and ambassadors like Megasthenes who visited India in earlier times are important sources of information about ancient Indian history and culture. Now next question. How does the study of coin help the historian? How does the study of coins help the historian? Please write down the answers. Coins give us useful information about the art, put a comma, religion, comma, rulers, comma, the use of different metals and the level of development of technology. I'll repeat the answer. Coins give us useful information about the art, religion, rulers, the use of different metals and the level of development of technology. I hope all the question answers, take the correct option and fill in the blanks, is clear to you all. And if you have any doubt, you can go through the slides, you read the chapter again, or you listen to my this video again and again. You will get the answer definitely. And all the answers I have been repeatedly telling you, all the answers are there in your book, because I have made the answers from the book, so that you don't have any problem identifying the answers when you read the chapter again. This is actually a task for you all, so that you go through the chapter again and again, and so that you can try to locate the answers which I have given you. Because if you have any doubt, whatever I am speaking, if it's not clear to you, you can So see these answers in the slides which I have already provided you earlier. So I hope children you will complete the work, complete it on time, and I am repeatedly telling you, please check your spellings from the slides. Don't make spelling mistakes. You are having plenty of time for that. You can't give me excuse that we were writing it very fast or the bell was going to ring. So these things please don't tell me. After 12:30 also you can sit and you can concentrate on the question answers, write it beautifully, make neat copy, cover it properly, and wait for the school to reopen so that we can meet again. Okay, thank you children. God bless you all.